And, you know, their respective eras, Cena's been the guy for the post-PG era. Or the PG era, not post-PG era. They're in the PG era. The Rock was, along with Austin, the guy for the Attitude Era. And going head-to-head.
This match is going to be great. They've had great build-up to it. You know, you look at Cena and he's such a big guy. And when he stands next to The Rock, he looks like a little guy. And it's so weird that The Rock is just huge.
The Rock is huge.
I mean, his chest and his arms are just huge. Like, from the time he left WWE in 2004 to now.
He's gotten noticeably bigger.
Yeah, like, not even close. I mean, he's huge. I'm rooting for The Rock in this match. I think Cena wins.
I absolutely cannot figure out who's going to win this match.
I think this match is a lot like the Jericho Punk match in a way where they're trying to get the crowd to see the torch being passed to the new guys. Not like Cena's a new guy or Punk's a new guy, but to kind of get the people over
respective era.
Right.
To move on from the Attitude Era.
Right. I think it's going to be a good match, and I want The Rock to win. And I think the only reason The Rock might win is because it's in Miami. But I see kind of... I think Cena's going to win. And I went back and forth on this. At first I was like, there's no way The Rock's going to come back and lose.
Especially when we consider that these two have real life...
Like, I'm not sure... Yeah, like, I'm not sure they get along at all.
I don't think they do. I think they have legitimate issues.
Like,
I don't know if it's as big as they're making it seem.
But it does seem like Cena does have some issues with The Rock. And The Rock doesn't like how Cena approached his issues with him.
Yeah. The thing with me making this pick, and most people are going to think we're crazy for analyzing a scripted event like WWE this much, but it really all kind of plays out how the script is going to go after this.
Is The Rock done? That's the thing.
Is The Rock done? Is this Is this really a once in a lifetime match?
Right.
What do they have planned for Cena afterwards? A lot of scenarios come through my head. Cena making a heel turn. It's been people talking about this for years now, because a lot of people are so sick of him winning all the time as a face, really kind of being unbeatable in a sense, Hogan-esque. And that's kind of what ended up happening with Hogan. People were starting to turn on him, so he became the bad guy. Does Cena get screwed somehow? That's another idea I have in my head. That's obviously going to make him a face, I think. You know, trying to avenge his loss. A lot of scenarios are possible, I feel like. You know, I'm not sure either guy wins the match clean. I think there might be some sort of interference for either result. I personally would like to see a clean ending unless it's going to result in something big moving forward. Like WrestleMania 17, Vince screwing The Rock, and, you know, nobody saw that heel turn for Austin coming. Maybe there's something like that, Triple H screwing The Rock, helping Cena, setting up something there. Maybe Vince comes back. I don't know. I'm settling on taking Cena in this match. There will be a big crowd reaction if Cena wins, though. Even though it's WrestleMania, it's a big event. A lot of people from outside of Miami are going to be there. I still feel like it's going to be at least a 75-25 Rock favored crowd.
Yeah, I mean, obviously The Rock comes in as the hometown guy, went to college in Miami. I mean, let's face it, I haven't heard too many boos when The Rock comes out.
No.
I mean, even people that have never seen The Rock fight young kids like The Rock.
There are never boos for The Rock. There are still cheers for Cena, but there's always the Cena sucks portion of the crowd.
Right. There's not the Rocky sucks chants anymore.
Personally, these two are two of my favorites of all time. I have no problems admitting I'm a 20-year-old guy, still a John Cena fan. Everything he does for the business, outside of the WWE, it's hard to dislike somebody who is that genuinely a good guy.
Yeah, the show they had on the other night, the Once in a Lifetime, really made you, I watched that show and realized, man, this guy's a great guy. Mm-hmm. They said he never turns down a Make-A-Wish. He'll be an hour early before he's a minute late to meet a kid. He never says no. Like, on his day off, he was signing 1,000 autographs on pictures. Mm-hmm. It's just, and that's the one thing in my mind where
he can't turn heel.
Yeah, he's just too into the kids and likes the kids too much and doesn't want to break any hearts from the younger kids that really think he's going to be a bad guy then.
Yeah. That's why I'm ultimately settling against anything huge happening. I just can't see WWE taking their top guy right now and having him lose cleanly to somebody who there's no guarantee he's going to be around permanently.
Unless they got that guarantee.
Unless they got that guarantee, then all bets are off.
Right. But, like, he's got another movie coming out this summer. I think G.I. Joe comes out this summer.
Yeah, I actually read on the internet he has a few that are going to start filming shortly after WrestleMania.
So
that's what leads me to believe he's not going to be there full time. Maybe he comes back for SummerSlam this year. It's the 25th SummerSlam. They're going to obviously try to make that big. He already announced he'll be at WrestleMania next year, WrestleMania 29. So I see a trilogy of matches coming. Whoever wins tomorrow at WrestleMania will lose at SummerSlam in a rematch.
And then it'll be the
rubber match at WrestleMania 29. That's the way I see it going down. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I take Cena. There's going to be a lot of heat coming from that crowd, though.
Mm. There's actually probably a lot of heat right from The Rock's people when he signed. His management team. Before we come back, you're not going to have us come back and lose.
It'd be hard to see it.
I mean, unless The Rock said right away, I'll lose. Unless the beef isn't as big as we think, and he says, I will lose to him, to kind of...
And just knowing how The Rock loves the spotlight, this is great for him. He gets to come back to the WWE, gets to go out to the ring, have a couple matches, come out there, entertain the crowd.
He's been great on Raw.
He just owns the crowd every time he's out there.
And he, like we say, Cena's like that with the kids. Like, he always gets to the ring and shows his arm, and you could literally see the goosebumps on his arm. Still, and, just to hear the crowd's reaction, just as his music plays, before he even says anything. A lot of times he can't say anything for 10 minutes when he gets in the ring because the crowd
big crowd of age.
Yeah, it's just... But as much as, I hope The Rock wins. I love The Rock. He's probably my favorite of all time. But I just... like, you know, we talked about, he's not going to be there all the time. I think this is kind of going to be a little boost for Cena to kind of get everybody to say, wow, he beat The Rock.
And just like at WrestleMania 18, The Rock-Hogan match, Hogan passing that torch to The Rock, even though The Rock doesn't stay around that much longer after that, you know, it's saying this is your era now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what we get with this match. And, you know, that wasn't the greatest pure wrestling match, but the atmosphere for that one, Hogan
really
Rock,
intense.
Yeah. The crowd was into it the whole time, and, you know, I can't see this one in the ring surpassing what Punk and Jericho do. Maybe not even the Hell in a Cell as far as, you know, action. You know, there's going to be a lot of, you know, brutality in that Hell in a Cell match. But as far as crowd involvement, just the general atmosphere, the main event of the night, and this once-in-a-lifetime thing, it's a big deal.
And the thing is, too, about these two is they're fighters, but both of them could wrestle.
Yeah. And they're good showmen.
Yeah, like they're not just going to come out there and it's not just going to be a fight.
No.
Like, it's going to be a fight, don't get me wrong, but there's still going to be wrestling involved in the match. Because they both, you know.
And I think they're going to try to set out to prove that. I don't think that they want to be outshined by Jericho and Punk.
Right.
Or that Hell in a Cell match. I think they're going to go out there and give it their absolute best. Mm-hmm.
Because they're going to know what they got to do.
Yeah.
When their match comes on. Because it's obviously going to be the last match.
Yeah, that's the main event.
Yeah. So they're going to know what kind of performance they got to put on, which is going to be great. Because I think, you know, Punk and Jericho will probably go first. Then it'll probably be the Hell in the Cell, and then
that's what I think.
And they're going to know what kind of effort they got to put forth, and the way both them guys are, they're going to do everything they can to live up to it.
Yeah. You know that they're going to get the crowd involved. I see those moments in every big match when there's a lot of crowd involvement. They step back, kind of let the crowd dictate what's going on. Mm-hmm. The dueling chants. Mm-hmm. Good for the atmosphere of the match. Mm-hmm. I'm psyched.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great night. Just looking forward to getting to the stadium.
That's really, I'm writing about this. I'm in the process of finishing up something for Later Named. And I'm almost more excited just to be there and to be able to say I was at WrestleMania than the actual matches itself.
The atmosphere is going to be great.
Yeah. Like, I remember the moment we walked into the Orange Bowl to a completely empty stadium and just looking down at that field knowing you were about to be a part of something really big.
Mm-hmm. And the atmosphere there was incredible. And, I mean, it was a BCS game, but not the national championship. But, you know, the band's playing outside before. You know, you walk in and you see the, you know, the teams painted on each end zone. Mm-hmm. And then they got the flyover and the national anthem. And, you know, it was just great. And, you know, Vince is going to have a great show in Miami on Sunday night.
Yeah, the setup, you know, the rampway.
The fireworks.
You know, all the entrances. Even for the Rock Cena match, you know, each have their own theme song, really. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one hell of a show. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we're one day away.
Yeah.
And it still seems
unreal.
Surreal that we're going to
be there.
Yeah. You know, we've joked about this Millionaires weekend for years. And I didn't think really until either one of us were really rich we'd ever be able to go to either one. And
we're going.
We're going to WrestleMania, and